Hi everyone. Welcome. I am Jon Binnie, your professional spiritual psychic mentor here in Scotland, and I'm delighted today to take you through a range of predictions and answering your questions. I connect with Mother Earth, the spirit of Mother Earth, Mother Gaia. I connect with my spirit guides from across the universe. I connect with extraterrestrials, the sun, the moon, and many more beings to help bring you guys the answers to your questions and also upcoming messages that are important for you, your loved ones, and humanity. Okay, now as we go ahead and get started, please do join me in the creation of this safe space, because this is so important, maybe the most important part of this whole video. And that is because when we create a safe space around us, we can allow ourselves to come out of less out of kind of stuck in our minds and come more into our hearts as well. So really bringing in that heart and mind partnership and harmony, and then also creating a safe space, the boundaries around it allows our hearts to feel safe to open and protects us from a lot of the noise outside. Plus, you guys are going to get a much clearer channeled message into me and then from me to you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out what no longer serves, our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any fear, shame, anxiety, or pain, nice and loud. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration energy or emotion that no longer serves you, nice and loud. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly as it feels right for you. And focus your attention now on the very center of your heart, where your golden divine spark of your soul enters your human form. And from the center of your heart, extend a cord of light up through the top of your head, up into the sky and up into the stars, all the way up to the highest frequencies and dimensions of this universe, until you reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there, connecting your light cord into the highest dimension of source. Remain connected into source and extend your light cord down to the stars and sky, back down to the top of your head and into your heart once more. And now, from the center of your heart this time, extend a cord of light downwards through the base of your spine and deep into the earth, all the way down through the layers of the planet, going deeper and deeper until it reaches the very core of Mother Earth, and there connecting your light cord into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. And we send Mother Gaia, planet Earth, so much love at this time, and allow her to send her love back. Remain connected into Gaia's heart and extend your light cord back up through the layers of the planet, up through the roots of your spine and into your heart once more. And now, together with the light of Source above and Mother Gaia below and your own light, expand out your golden bubble of protective light to surround you, about 2 meters out to each side, above and below, in front and behind you, surrounding all aspects of you, and set the intention that only energies and entities with your permission, your highest good love and compassion can see you, access you, or exist within this space or within you, and that all other energies and entities must leave immediately. Into your safe space, invite in your spirit guides, your higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, and ask at this time for their guidance, clearing, healing, protection, and assistance with the integration of today's messages. And now, through space and time, I create a golden protective bubble around all of us, engaging with this video across space and time, and I set the intention for our safe session space, that only energies and entities with my permission and the highest good love and compassion of all can see us, access us or exist within this space or within us, all other energies and entities must leave immediately. Into our session space, I invite in my spirit guides, my higher self, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source and Gaia, the spirit of the sun, Sol, the spirit of the moon, Luna. And I set the intention with also the support of Mother Gaia and Source invited in. I set the intention that we are here today to help you with messages, predictions over the coming months, and also to help support you in answering your questions. And with this, we can get started. So well done for sticking around, first of all, and participating in the safe space creation. And perhaps for other people that do work like this, where we're channeling in messages from higher aspects of ourselves or higher aspects of beings from across the universe, or really any other beings, perhaps you'd like to encourage others, other practitioners, like maybe suggest them in the comments, ask them about their practices, their safe space creations. Some people will do it before they hit record. And for me, I'm very pro transparency. So I do have a daily practice myself of creating a safe space, just like I show in my free meditations. You can look at those on the meditation section of my website, jonbinnie.com. And really everything I do, even if you see me out walking in the woods, talking with trees, often there I create the safe space before I go and talk to the trees. So yeah, let's all encourage each other to hold each other to high standards of energetic cleanliness. Okay. So I do have on my laptop down just below here, I do have your questions. I'm really excited to go through some of these. I'd love to be able to answer as many as I can today. I think that would be a lot of fun. First of all, let me see if there's any messages from Mother Gaia at this time. So just connecting in with Mother Gaia and asking her to share any messages for all of those who choose to engage with this video for their highest good. Gaia is showing me my heart opening. And in part, she's wanting me to demonstrate, to lead by example, my heart opening up. And often to do this, I'll first of all concentrate. You can often see me with my hands kind of like this, like slightly, almost like an inverted cup, like I'm reaching in and pulling open any resistance that I have inside of me, just to help gently pull open my heart. And the reason for this is that she wants me to demonstrate to you what it's like to have an open heart and to be engaging with someone's video who has strong boundaries like me, and then a nice, safe, open heart. So let's all take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we do, allow our hearts to gently open and breathe out what no longer serves us. And just hold your heart open nice and wide. So I imagine the sphere of my heart chakra being nice and open. Good. And reminding your heart that you're in a safe space. So strong protective boundaries that you created. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. And as you open your heart, reminds me of the feelings I have around my loved ones. I'm right here with Patch, my little Papillon dog. He's fantastic. I would show you, but everything will just fall off the YouTube light and camera mount if I try to move it. But being around Patch, being around my loved ones, always encourages my heart to be nice and soft and open. And Gaia says the reason that she's gone to such length to explain this is that there are big changes coming up, in particular over this next week. And she's showing me a convergence of timelines. So it's more of a crossroads. So there's two timelines she's showing me like this at diagonals. Well, they're actually they look more like 90 degrees apart. And then what happens is they come like this. They hit each other by the end of this week, and then they go up. One goes up over the other one. And she's saying that there are great truths to be released this week, and then, which is one timeline, and then the other timeline is almost like it also has these truths to be released. One timeline continues on with the path of truth, and the other kind of seems to get stuck and then go up over it and bypass it. And so the second one that's kind of, we could call these the truth timeline and the bypassing timeline, is that the bypassing timeline comes up over the other one energetically. So it kind of has a lot more of a kind of chaotic energy to it, and then just seems to like get suppressed and continue on. And it's really interesting that they converge, because it's like a crossroads. Reminds me of that old movie, the Sliding Doors movie, when you've got these kind of two doors to decide which ones you want to walk through. And Gaia is saying, you have a choice. And it's a little bit red pill and blue pill, right? Which means that one timeline, you will see the truths being shared. And then there's almost this reaction of, well, we've just got to change. Like the world can't ever exist like this again. We must rebirth this planet. And then the other one is, let's not go there. It's like the truths are shared, and then let's not go there. And being sensitive to where I'm sharing this video, I would describe this as truths about world leaders being surfaced that are that compromise their integrity, and that these are, they're related to very sensitive files that begin with an E. That as these are surfaced, one path is to kind of go into denial and say, well, that almost like we as individuals, we say to ourselves that we can't allow the Earth to destroy itself in that way. I don't mean the planet, but all our systems and organizations and governments. And it's not just one world leader that's affected by this. And then the other is, yes, we can. Yes, we can allow a destruction of something that doesn't work. Allow the destruction of systems and things in our lives that no longer serve us and that need to be faced. The truths need to be faced. People need to be held accountable, and then we need to move on to creating a new world together. And so the reason to have Gaia saying she started with having a nice big open heart is that this important aspect of the roller coaster that we're going through is she's saying that there's an opportunity to feel in your heart. Never mind what our minds say, because our minds will tell us things like, I don't want to run out of money. I don't want to, feel unsafe. I like having healthcare. Like there's all these like kind of constructs that we cling to, like they're not really working, and they're not working for our hearts, and they can logically work for us, right? Like we can stay up in our minds and say, £1 or $1 plus $1 equals 2. It's like, great, right? But in our hearts, we're like, why does it matter? The things that are really important to me in my life are love, are healthy food and water, safety and shelter, equality, compassion, unconditional love. These are very difficult to put exact monetary figures on. And it's not just the money. It's not to say that money is going to completely dissolve and disappear. The guy is encouraging us to say, really look inside our hearts and ask our hearts what's really important in our lives, and look after those things. Focus on those aspects of our lives. And Gaia is saying, the reason that hopefully you can hear me with my microphone. She's saying the reason that she is choosing to go through, and we as a collective together with Gaia are going through there's been many, many timelines, and there likely will be many more timelines in the future, but this timeline conversion offers at this crossroads offers a choice. And it offers a choice of truth persisting in our lives, and us as a human race integrating that truth, fully absorbing it and saying, okay, let's take this all on board as a human race and decide how to change. And then the other is much more of a path of denial. The truth of rebirth and change is much more a path towards our higher ascension, our fifth dimensional ascension. And then the other one is a releasing of the kind of opportunity in that moment to go up to the fifth dimension, and instead is like just staying in more denial. So there's two paths. And let me ask, how do we consciously make this choice? And Gaia is saying, definitely with love and compassion for ourselves, acceptance of fear that we have of and anticipation and some excitement of both of these timelines. And she says, it doesn't matter which timeline is which. It doesn't matter which you choose. She says, simply hold an open heart with love and compassion throughout this next week in particular, and then on through the coming months, especially through, because one of the timelines that's more about the continued truth and rebirth of humanity is that into next spring is when we've like gone through that kind of rebirthing cycle. And it's huge, right, for humanity. And the more we can keep our hearts open, and I don't know if you resonate this as a fellow human, when our hearts are open, we feel safe, we feel secure, we feel able to receive love, to receive abundance, to receive the magical mysteries that are constantly in our lives. And that's something I do as much as I can each day, is like sharing that magic, from meditation to sky watching, to running in the morning, to photos of the sky, talking to trees, these videos. There's just this constant influx of unexpected miracles and magic. And it's real. And so when we have our open hearts, we can receive this. And I hope that comes across in the content I create, as well as my, including my music. And Gaia says, choosing an open heart, choosing love within your strong, safe boundaries. So only allowing what you choose into your life and not giving your power away to world leaders, governments, laws, systems of control, companies, policies, others, people that, or beings that, kind of drain on your energy. Releasing all of that and having nice, safe, strong boundaries with a nice, big, open heart. This will really help you ride these roller coasters. And that is your choice. This is all your free will choice. And really my role today is just to help you feel into that choice. So why don't we practice this? Because it's often easier to say with less words. Less words and more heart. So let's take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe out what no longer serves our highest good. And place your left hand on your heart, your receiving hand. And you can repeat after me if you wish. Heart, remember my strong, safe boundaries. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. I choose a world of love, compassion, equality, forgiveness, abundance for all. I choose this new world created with our hearts. Well done. Fantastic. Well done you. And just allow your heart to continue to stay nice and open. And please do repeat this. That can be a lot to remember, right? So next time you're finding yourself a bit triggered by something, it might be in the news. In the UK, we have lots of these kind of triggering laws or kind of intentions for laws or new things that they want to bring in. And they're all designed to trigger us and to keep us in fear. So whenever this happens, I first of all, acknowledge that. And it's typically on my phone, I'll see it. So I'll kind of catch myself in that moment and I'll say, John, why are you looking at your phone right now? And how do you feel about it? And so I catch that feeling, and it's not to deny it, right? Never deny those triggering feelings. They are real. The fear is real for us. It is a battle and it is a choice. And so then what we can choose to say is, and I just, because this happened to me this morning, I was triggered about a UK law. It's actually been around a while. And I placed my hand on my heart and I just said, heart, I release this fear. Heart, I release this fear. Heart, I release this fear. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. Heart, it's safe to open. And sometimes what I do is just hold that fear in my hands, like pull it out of my heart and hold it in a little ball and acknowledge it. And I say, I'm sorry you feel scared. I love you, I forgive you, thank you, and I release you. And I say to that fear, I return you to source. I'm doing this with my hand. I return you to source or never return here again. And also our bodies are programmed, if you like, or built is probably a nicer term, to continually release energy down through us, so down through our hands and feet. And if you've seen me in other videos, like shake out that fear, like shake it off into the ground and ask, through your feet, through your hands, through the base of your spine. These are all the areas of our bodies where we can release energy. And I imagine it's like little dark raindrops dripping down into the earth below. And I ask Mother Gaia to transmute that energy. Okay, Mother Gaia says she's done answering that question. And I feel you can apply this to this practice of keeping an open heart throughout any world changes is really important. And also a reminder, the playlist that will pop up towards the end of this video, in my predictions video, there's one that teaches us how to help not subdue, but to release more safely the energy of earthquakes and volcanoes. So a reminder for that, please do look back through this playlist. There's quite a few videos now, and you'll learn some practice there. And there's a very, very deep one from Mother Gaia helping release her rage and, it's our rage really in her, this anger and rage energy. So if you're experiencing any earthquakes, volcanoes, includes weather events as well, or you're worried that something's building up and there's reports of something coming, or you just feel it, you can feel it in your bones, then do practice that video. It'll really help. Because you are super powerful. You guys, you are super powerful, and please don't ever forget that. Okay, let's go ahead and start. There's quite a few questions. I'd like to get through as many as I can. So let's go ahead and just choose the first one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay. The first one is from Shirley. I thought it said Shirley Skies, but it's Shelley Skiles and or Skills. And you said, when will Hollow Earth peoples begin to appear, and will they be in full stature of 10 to 15 feet? Greetings from Texas. Hello to Texas. So let me ask, I'm going to ask my spirit guide, my spirit guide, Maya, my spirit guide Maya, who's an earth elemental. So the when part, she's saying it's not one date, and it's also not one race of beings. And she's reminding me, first of all, that there are, you can do this research yourself, maybe not necessarily Wikipedia, etc. I have shared videos about my experiences of Agartha, and that's one of the underground kind of dimensions or realms beneath the earth. And the Agartha it's like a really safe meeting place and place where beings live from across the universe. And it also includes, for example, the Great Library of Agartha, which is one of the Akashic Records like stores of the universe. And so, wisdom, experiences, all recorded in whichever format you want to retrieve them. I often experience them as books. And so you can go and visit there in a safe space and visit the beings and visit the retrieve records as well. There's a book that I read in Agartha called The Book of Dead Souls, which is fascinating. So that's a whole video. If you just search for Jon Binnie, Agartha, or Agartha Book of Dead Souls, you'll find it on YouTube. So yeah, there's many beings, many races of beings who live beneath the surface of the earth. And let me ask about the when. Let's see if my spirit guide Maya or any of the other beings that I invited in can help answer this. I'm being shown a kind of, they're talking about contact. So Maya is saying that contact from above, just like last night's video where I was channeling stars and filming UFOs, that was premiered on my channel last night UK time, and it's kind of evidence, if you like, of regular people like you and me making contact, and there's many of us, right? Like in the thousands of people making contact with beings, extraterrestrial beings. But not everything you see in the sky that moves is extraterrestrial. Equally, not everything that is still is extraterrestrial. However, there's increasing activity, and it's difficult to deny that. And so increasing evidence. And it's the interactions that are the fun part, right? And so Maya's saying that contact from above is also coming up from below. So it's starting with more of the surface level beings. So if, sometimes we'd call these cryptids like Sasquatch, dog, man, fae beings, elemental beings, fairies, goblins. Like there's all these little beings too they're kind of more surface level, and some a little bit underground. And a lot of these beings are interdimensional, so a lot of them are in the fourth dimension. But they're still, they still come in and out of our third dimension, so they come in and out of reality. She's saying after that, it's like this kind of layers, like Shrek, I'm an ogre, I'm like an onion, layers, layers, donkey. After that, and this feels like into next year, by spring next year is what Maya is saying, that we'll start to see more of these beings coming up from underground. Yes, there are some beings that are that tall and taller. I certainly have remembrances of past lives being a giant. I've had two past lives of being a giant in England. And the height was like around 65 feet. And you might think, oh great, I'm a giant. It's like when you're surrounded by a lot of humans with pointy little sticks and arrows, it's not actually as enjoyable as it might sound. And it's quite hard to hide when you're that size. But yeah, these aspects of our the truth and the magic of our history is far more expansive than we might realize, than many of us realize. So it's very exciting. Thank you so much, Shelley. Apologies for getting your name wrong. Okay, next. Let's choose with a beep bop machine. Beep bop, beep bop, beep bop, beep bop. Okay. This is from Angel 333, which is, oh wow. Just as I said that, the time on this went 3033. Oh, so exciting. Gotta love numbers. Okay. So the question is, what was behind Mr. T's best message about Panadol, and is it true? So this is the claim that Panadol is linked with autism. Okay. And what's really fascinating so paracetamol, which is one of it's like the key ingredient, there's very much like this counter to that from the UK saying, it's safe. So I did ask, as I glanced this earlier, I did ask my spirit guide Maya about this, and the answer is quite shocking. So let me find out a little bit more, see if there's any more detail to share now that we're in this safe space. So Maya says that as we term autism is that it is part of the human race's ever extending divergence of our uniqueness, and it includes our neurodiversity, as we would kind of label it at the moment. And that's just a small part of it, right? Because really, what Maya is saying is that our children that are being born are increasing in their frequency breadth. And unfortunately, there's a lot of things that we're not like fully set up to do yet as a human race to support these children. One is, for example, verbal skills. And that is that a lot of the children that are being born, or increasing numbers of children being born, have relied on telepathy in previous lifetimes. And so as they come into their human body, they're like, oh, you want me to do what with this thing and this? Like, can I not just like talk to you? And also the frustration of talking psychically to other people and not getting answers, not getting feedback, and that causing like huge frustration and difficulty. Also like hypersensitivity. Now, this is really, really good. If you do work with spirit guides and like my sensitivity just continues to increase and increase the more I do this work myself, but also the spirit, I know that higher vibration beings, they're super sensitive, right? And they pride themselves. It is a goal for them to have high sensitivity because it makes all this work so much easier. It means that you can hear that whisper, that quiet whisper in this raging storm of noise around us. And that's a huge challenge for many of our children. So you might be wondering, I'm going with all this, like these are just a couple of examples of the superpowers, if you like, that are gained from the human race continuing to expand. There are big challenges with bringing in high vibration beings into Earth, is because you might feel this yourself, is that we struggle to really come to terms with, first of all, the density. So this heavy feeling, the fear that we're constantly surrounded by, both in others and in the collective, and constantly barrage towards us. And it affects our bodies, right? It affects our hearts. It closes our hearts. It makes our bodies feel sad and weak. And we're in battle with this, right? Just as we create these safe spaces around ourselves, we're pushing back and saying, no, I don't choose that. I only choose things for my highest good. Sometimes that does include a bit of fear, but not constant barrage of fear programming and mongering. So this statement about Panadol is much more about saying that this is not right. That this is not happening. Right. This is the human race is not evolving or increasing in diversity to support a broader range of superpowers. The claim is more that this is literally a defect, that it is a defective human condition. I personally don't subscribe to that narrative. And this is the message. This is the answer to the question. So this is really a distraction to say it's the undercurrent of like, why pick out something so commonly used and then use it to blame this ever increasing a divergence of the human race. And you may also be aware that, you know, some races, such as the extraterrestrials, the Zetas, they had the opposite problem, right? They know that they at least have been on, maybe until recently, maybe they've been able to break out of it recently, but on this kind of this dead end of a timeline. And it's because their gene pool keeps narrowing more and more. They are actually future humans. And so, and it's a long way away, right? But they struggle to expand out and to have their DNA and their gene pool expand and to be nice and broad and diverse. And so what the human race is going through is really the opposite of that. It's like this continued expansion. And it's beautiful, right? It's to be celebrated. And I never want to minimize or to ignore the challenges that it's like either to have autism or ADHD or other conditions, and including being the parents of or carers for people affected by this. And I really do hold space for you. It must be an incredibly tough experience. I have friends with autism, and I know that it's a really tough journey for them and their loved ones. And I would just encourage us all to extend love and compassion. And whenever there is kind of triggering news like this, feel into the undercurrents about why would this fear be propagated. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Angel 333. Loving all the threes. Okay, next question. So choosing the next one. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Okay, and this next one is from Lotus 1B3. And you asked, "Hi John, can you ask Gaia the best way to grow vegetables and fruit in the UK surrounded by trees? Also, how do I figure out these small and large orb lights are outside my home? What they are, since, very interestingly, a very specific date, 23rd of September this year. Thank you, much love and gratitude." First of all, Lotus 1B3, I love your energy. The energy in your message, it's beautiful, right? And I feel that, you know, when we practice an open heart, this isn't just our minds, right? If you're ever wondering like, oh, John, what if, you know, AI started to someone asked AI to start saturating your questions with all these like kind of almost like fake people's questions. Like this is the opposite, right? When you feel it in your heart, when you feel such a beautiful question, I feel like what you do, Lotus 1B3, is you've just taken every word and wrapped it in your love, and you've maybe edited that question a couple of times, and just the intentions behind both are so magical and expansive. So thank you. So let's go with the first question about best way to grow vegetables and herbs and fruit when you're surrounded by trees in the UK. So let's ask Mother Gaia and any other beings that I've invited in. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's a little bit of a chicken and egg aspect to this, and so Gaia is suggesting that this is one approach, but you could alternate the sequence. So the first is, and I love this, right? So Gaia is saying, pay attention to the ground area where you want to grow vegetables and herbs and fruits. And she seemed to be paying attention to. She was showing me the surface, and then the depth is. It seems to be like it's about a foot deep, like maybe like one, if you got a shovel, maybe one or two kind of shovels deep, and you'd first like take a couple of, you dig into the ground and you'd check a couple of areas. And just before you dig, do ask permission. So ask this, so what you do is you're just standing on the ground. It'd be great if you had your bare feet on, left hand on your heart, connect your heart into Mother Gaia below, and ask the earth, ask the elementals that are the custodians of the land in your area, and say, I would love to be able to grow food in this place, in this land. Please, may I have your permission? Okay. And just allow that. I felt the answer coming up through my feet and up through the base of my spine into my heart. And then secondly, there was this feeling of, so Gaia showed me, now go and talk to the trees, right? So if you have a yes, and you've got an idea of where, so you've asked permission, you've got a yes, you've dug a couple of holes, and it seems that what you're doing is, these are small kind of, it's like the kind of exploration digs, just one or two shovel fulls. And what you're really doing is grabbing the earth and like feeling it with your hands and feeling the energy of it and feel like, does this feel fertile? How does the energy feel within it? And I can see you just like sat on the ground and you're kind of rubbing your hands to the earth. It feels really lovely to do. And you're feeling into the nutrients and, more importantly, the energy of it. Okay. Then once you've selected the area that you want to grow the food, then go and talk to the trees. Now, you, just like you see me doing Talking to Trees video, and there is a video demonstrating how to do it. So it's designed as a meditation. So you can just like, you could have it on your earbuds and like walk, and follow the instructions as you go up to your trees. So go up to the trees, ask permission to talk to all the trees at once as a collective, and then you go and just set the intention you want to talk about where best to grow food, and then ask one of the trees, so for permission to talk to them, go up and place your left hand on the tree and ask. And what you're to do is to ask the tree, I want to grow food in this area. Will you support me in this? Will you help me with the canopy cover, giving enough light? Will you help me with, because I saw the trees they're kind of like dancing around slowly and they're moving their branches. Trees do move, right? I know it's maybe not to you, Lotus 1B3, but to many of us, it's kind of that notion, if a tree's waving at you, do wave back, right? So they are alive, they are capable of moving, just not in the ways that we fully understand it yet, right? And so the trees can, I'm not saying that they'll just suddenly open up like, or that they'll suddenly open up and give you like this beautiful space to grow herbs and fruit. It's more that you're beginning a journey of collaboration with the trees. And it's not just when their leaves are out in the summer, it also includes when the leaves fall. So there is an opportunity. I'm getting this lovely ringing in my ear, in both ears. It's confirmation. There's a lovely opportunity for that dialogue to start. And so perhaps you'll repeat this maybe every week, especially as you begin your planting. And then also your, what was I going to say? your planting and the nurturing. So it's like this kind of gestation period of any seeds you're planting, and then the initial growth of the little seedlings. It's such a cute term. And then just allowing the vegetables, the herbs, and fruit to continue to grow and have a constant conversation with the land, the vegetables that are growing themselves, and the trees, and ask what you can do at least each week to help promote the growth. And it can be more sunlight. You might need to assist in watering. There might be some nutrients they're looking for in the soil, and a lot of it you may be able to source very locally, like in your land itself. Wow. Okay. And then you're asking about the orb lights. Oh, these are such great questions, Lotus 1B3. Thank you. So let's ask about the orb lights, because I was just getting some information. So these are so I'm getting a mix of answers, or should I say a team answer from Marita, who's my Galactic Mantis guide, and then also Maya, my Earth Elemental guide. And their answers were basically that these large orb lights outside your house are a thinning of the veil, right? And especially in October, this kind of the month of the witch, yay! What is so cool is that you're beginning to see these like, what are they? Especially the smaller ones are elementals. So they're like earth elementals there. You're seeing the souls, the brightest light, like their golden light from the center of their souls and their hearts and their beings around you, because the veil, so they used to be hidden, right, by the fourth and third dimension veil, if you like. And it's like a curtain that's being pulled down. And so it's becoming more and more transparent. So we're starting to see much more easily through it. And then there are some of the larger ones are off planet. So they are extraterrestrial. And some, not all, you may or may not know this, but not all kind of ships, craft, UAP, UFOs are in physical form, right? They also come in energetic form. And we might describe that as more fifth or fourth dimensional. So they've not come down to this density. They've not come down to this heavy third dimension. They're still up in a higher dimension. So we're seeing the light, like we're seeing the brightest aspects that we can perceive of that dimension. I'd encourage you, Lotus 1B3, to take a look at my sky watching videos and see how I interact with them. If you want to try filming them, talking with them, asking who they are, what their intention is. If you want them to leave, tell them to leave. These are all great practices. So thank you so much for your question. Okay. Okay, yes, let's do the next question. So just choosing it. Okay. So, this is a question from, is it Ilda? Ilda 7739? I think so. It's hard to tell with this font. I'm reading the I and the L and the L and the I. Your question is, thank you for your question. Hi, John. My ears perked up when listening to one of your more recent videos about Mother Gaia mentioned a potential cell over the Atlantic around the October 26th and events in Oklahoma, and potentially other areas on October 17th. I'm traveling to the Azores from Canada on the 17th and returning the 24th. Can you ask Gaia to provide potential situations around the globe, specifically North America and the Atlantic during that time? Sending love and gratitude to you, Gaia, and your guides, and all your listeners. Well, thank you so much. I will share, before I ask the question, I will share that my personal plans and my family seem to be oriented. So something came up today. I won't go into specifics, but let's just say that kind of the places where I would be on vacation changed today, just through very natural kind of day-to-day run-of-the-mill things. But it seemed the message that I got from Maya, my spirit guide, is that I need to be home on the 17th, on vacation, at home. So that's not necessarily the message for everyone in the world, right? But I just wanted to share, and it feels like it's not because it's easy for us to jump into fear and go, oh no, like you're going to be somehow safer at home. Not really, not compared to what's all these things that are happening across the world. And we heard already quite a lot about 2 different timelines, and that is all happening next week. And it's interesting, you posted this question on the 20th of September, and here we are just a week before. So it's important for me to be home, but it felt more like me being home to be able to share, to be able to do videos like this, and the kind of safety and comfort. And it's not so much physical safety, just the emotional privacy safety, where I can talk freely in my soundproof studio about anything, right? And share on YouTube. So there's this feeling of just being in the right place for me to be able to share about some of the experiences that will be happening next week. This all builds a lot of anticipation for next week, right? But really, we're experiencing all these things right now. It's just that they come more to the surface. So let's ask you a question, first of all, about your travel between the 17th. Oh no, you did ask about the potential sell around over the Atlantic on the 26th. Okay. And it's interesting. So Gaia is saying that is change. Like it feels like right now that's a little bit delayed by at least a couple of weeks. And she's showing me pushing up further up towards up above the Arctic Circle. And she's saying this is influenced by her collaboration with the sun, with Sol. And I'm just seeing these like beautiful plasma bursts coming from the sun and affecting some of the direction of some of these cells. So it seems to like push the cell up away to less densely populated areas of the earth. So that feels good. We can definitely keep an eye on that. Thank you. Then let's ask about your travel from Canada to the Azores. And Gaia says, like, safe passage cannot be guaranteed, but safe passage can be requested and makes a significant difference. So I was being shown, whether in different parts of the journey, it's for anyone traveling, right? If you're in your car, RV, if you're on a motorbike or motorcycle, or you're walking, or in a plane, like planes, trains, automobiles, like whatever your mode of transport is, you can ask for safe passage before you go. Let me see how you do this. Let me ask Mother Gaia, because she was showing me really interestingly this almost like creating a protective tunnel. Like if you're on a plane, you'd create this protective tunnel around you, and the plane could fly through pretty much anything, which I must admit, I when I go on planes, and I used to fly a lot over to the US and Canada, like every few months, I would always create a safe space, a protective bubble around the whole plane. And And Gaia is like extending that and saying you can create a safe passage. So a safe tunnel all the way through. And she was saying, for example, if you're flying, so this is for people that fly, look at the flight trajectory either on your phone or on a little map. Sometimes they show it if you look at the seat in front, there'll be a little insert card that shows you, where you're flying, or there's a little computer monitor, right, where you can, like a touch screen where you can look at the map. And so to ask for a safe passage, just place your left hand on your heart and say out loud, I ask my spirit guides, I ask Mother Gaia, the elementals of air, earth, water, and fire to support me in safe passage to my destination. Surround me with your angelic protective light and the tunnel through which I will travel, arriving safely, arriving whole, arriving on time. Thank you. And then say a massive thank you. Say thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you for all that you do and all that you give. I honor you. Thank you. And just really feel that energy in your heart, like coming up. This isn't just a mental bunch of words, right? It's that so important to feel that joy, love, and appreciation you have, especially right at the end. So I hope that helps you. Gaia just said, that safety can't be guaranteed, but it can be significantly improved, like exponentially improved by asking for help and asking protection. Because what she was showing me was like this really like turbulent storm. It seemed a lot of it was like, air turbulence, which isn't really that visible to us. And then some dark clouds and some storm clouds, but it wasn't like the kind of traditional Hollywood movie style. And she was just showing me, like, as you create a safe space around a plane, or if and when you're traveling by boat or car or whatever, that'll really help. And it's funny, I must admit, my as if you can't tell, my geography is not amazing, and I was just looking up these auras to see how beautiful they look. Oh my God, they just look incredible. Wonderful. So yeah, you can. My feeling is, if it was me personally, I would go. I know. This week could be difficult for me because I'm going on holiday somewhere else. But with the messages, based on these messages, yeah, personally, I would go. I'd also just ask for assistance and protection. And I know it can feel like it's a big kind of leap out across the North Atlantic. But no, a lot of the time, you're up above a lot of the challenges that you may face. And so, in particular, the safe passage is needed on the way up to that safer space at cruising altitude, and then back down also, assuming you're not getting a ferry, swimming, or a cruise ship or something. But given the length of time you're there, it looks like you'll be flying there and back. And I hope you have a beautiful time. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your questions. We're just up on an hour. Thank you, everyone. Please do put your questions in. There's a link in the pinned comments. We've had over something like 100, almost 200 questions since I've been doing these. And it's such an honor to help you. And I hope that you find them helpful. I find these experiences very expansive, and I learn a lot, even if I'm just learning geography. So thank you so much. There's one request. Someone's asked that it's just jumping out at me about this is Marla Petty 1665. You're asking about finding the mobile app for iPhone. So my website has two apps. One is what's called a native app for Android. So you just go to the Google Play Store. There's a link on the homepage of jonbinnie.com, a little black box with the two logos for Android and iPhone. And you click on that, it takes you to a page, and it also detects whether you've got an iPhone or Android, and that page does. And then it will give you the option to download the link to download the Android app from Google Play. For the iPhone, I've been trying for over a year now to get that app published on the App Store, and it seems very, very difficult. So in the interim, what happens is the link takes you to the Wix Spaces app. What happens is so my website is provided, the hosting provider is Wix, Wix. And the Wix Spaces app, what happens is you download that with the link, and what happens is it tells you, the link actually tells the Wix Spaces app to find the Jon Binnie Heart-Centered Wellness website within the Wix Spaces app. And once you've done that, once you've found it, you can add that to your home screen on your phone, for example, and use it very similar. The app's almost identical to Android. I've tried to make them as consistent as possible across both. It's just a few extra steps getting set up. If you still have problems, any of you, including Marla, please do email me and send me some screenshots. It'd be really, really helpful. I might have to do some things to help fix things. And as you know, I'm a bit of a geek. I like doing these things. So, and it's a good reminder for me to try and get the iPhone app. It is on my list. I keep chasing to see if Apple or Wix can help me get it set up, but it's so far been elusive. So yeah, you can email me at info@jonbinnie.com, and that's where I'll pick up requests for things like website or app problems. Thank you so much. Well, take good care of yourselves, everyone. I will bring our session to an end. I'd like to thank our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia, and every soul that's participated in today's session. And asking for each of us to remain in our individual protective bubbles. As I close down the shared space, please step outside of the shared space, remain in your individual protective bubbles. I close it down and return to Source, or never return here again. Please do get plenty of rest. Drink as much water as it feels right for you. And please do take a look at my website. You'll see some links appearing around here. And please do check out my other prediction videos. I will be on vacation for the next week, but I will be creating content at the right pace for me whenever I want to support you guys. And yeah, take a look at, in the meantime, it's a perfect opportunity to start getting up to date with all my latest free content and videos, right? There's always a lot I'm creating, so it gives you guys time to catch up. In particular, check out the link called Get Started or Getting Started with Jon on the homepage of jonbinnie.com. And I've been updating that to also include things like links to the 5D Ascension classes. So these are the free classes to help you, and they're super powerful and super detailed, right? And they're produced as from replays of live streams every 2 weeks. And also keep a lookout for more information on my heart-aligned business alchemy workshops. So they'll be every alternating Tuesday, where I'll be providing heart-aligned business mentorship too. So really excited for that. And if you're a member of my channel, I've also been asking you questions. I posted a video for members only yesterday, such as, would you like some me to experiment with some ad hoc live streams for members only? So that would be exciting too. So yeah, lots of fun. Thank you so much. And of course, feel free to book me in for one-to-one. I love doing your one-to-ones and meeting you all. And we get to go into such depth and detail. They're just amazing. So thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Sending you so much love. Keep your hearts open. Strong boundaries. Hearts open. Love you. Sending love.